witches.
Hi, hello. Oh, that was really loud. And welcome back.
It is what it is, you know?
Oh well, I'll just turn down my mic a little bit. Earlier, I was like watching a video, and my mic was pretty close to my phone, and I was like, that's not picking it up a lot. And I was like, hello, test, and it was just barely moving. So I unplugged it, and then it wasn't like popping back up after I plugged it back in. And I was like, oh crap, did I just like mess up my mic? I was like, fuck.
Oh no.
And so I was like, damn it. So then I was like, okay, I guess I'll just talk really close to the mic. So then I like brought it up close to me without like interfering with the like my mouse and keyboard and fuck, I don't know. I probably just need to get a new one. But I ain't got the money or the time for that right now. So anyways, back to Fourth Wing.
Yes, chapter 33. We left off at the end of chapter 32 with a cliffhanger.
They just got done having sex. A lot of sex, actually.
I think like sex. Very descriptive, graphic sex.
They were on their fifth time, I think is what
Yeah.
finished shooting. And they're in the middle of their fifth time, actually, and somebody knocks on the door and someone says, hey, we're under attack. And I'm like, you know what, they probably think they're under attack with how like the lightning is fucking happening.
right
It's like, shit, where's the lightning coming? Yeah, it's like somebody's attacking us. But yeah, so they're under attack and everyone's panicking. Everyone's getting dressed super, super quick. And they're going down to the quarters where they all line up. And the nice thing is she can talk to Xaden through their like minds. And she's like asking him like what's happening. Because like he's obviously having like a big leader meeting. And everyone's panicking like, fuck, what are we going to do? And he's like, fucking war games.
Yes.
Like, that's stupid as fuck. I'm not also, saying it's like
that. Yes. No, I agree. I literally wrote, if I got dragged away from some great sex for some damn games, I would be so shitty.
Like, it doesn't even matter. Just the fact that you dragged me out of bed at like, what, 3 a.m. to tell me that we're under attack? No, drag me out of bed to tell me we're going to fucking war games.
Right, because now I'm fucking panicked and adrenaline is running and...
Yeah, I think I'm going to like fight for, I mean, I'm going to fight for my life regardless, but I'd rather think I'm fighting for like my wing than actually defending my fucking college as a first year.
Right. Yikes.
Like, god damn it.
Before Xaden says that though, the leaders are all up there talking and Rhiannon yawns and then she looks at Violet and then she looks at Violet again like a double take and she said, Violet Sorrengail, are you wearing Grierson's flight jacket? And I'm just like, yes, with the best friend call out. I fucking love it. And like not only notices but calls her the fuck out because that's me all day. Like I'm gonna notice and I'm gonna call you out.
Liam snaps his head so fucking fast too.
Yes. She said, why would you say that? Oh, I don't know, because it's huge on you and there are 3 stars right here. And a 4th wing on the shoulder. And a wing leader emblem beneath those stars. And she said, fine,
be any wing leader. Any 3rd year. God.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they start talking about it, and it's like, okay, you don't even know what's going on, but you know what? Might as well talk about the sex. Might as well, I guess. Go ahead. And Rhee's like, please tell me it's good. And she goes, I broke his window. Instead of telling her like the truth, like, hey, I have lightning powers that I can't necessarily control.
I broke his window.
Okay, that's like partially true, but also you have an emotional reaction that comes with sex, and the aftermath is lightning. So please.
Yes. And not only that, like, not only did Rhiannon, first of all,
I guess she did say it, like, literally in, like, the next paragraph, but, I mean, I would have started off with that, like.
Well, so she, not only did Rhiannon call her the fuck out, but then Dain comes over and Rhiannon, like, covers her. Like, she, like, throws her arm around her so she covers up the jacket so he can't see whose it is.
She's a girl's girl.
Oh, yeah, she is. I fucking love her.
She also, not that, like, I feel like she wouldn't like Dain regardless.
Yeah, I agree.
Of knowing everything, like, the history between Violet and Dain, and, like, I don't care. I don't think she'd like him regardless. I just think she'd be like, come on, like, give us a break kind of thing.
Yes.
But she's definitely like, dude, this girl's been there for me since I met her before the parapet. Like, she saved me.
Right? Rhiannon,
if it wasn't
for Vi.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So then they're talking about where they're going to go. And Xaden, like, kind of moves things around to where Violet and Liam are in his squad. And aside from Violet, everyone in his squad has a rebellion relic.
We don't really find that out until a little later, though. I mean, we kind of get she doesn't realize it until later at, like, the little fire thing. She just thinks it's because, like, he wants to be close to her and the dragons can't be far away. Yeah.
That's right. So they're getting ready to go, and they're going beyond the wards, first of all. Like, where they've been assigned is beyond the wards, which is, like, kind of scary. Especially for a bunch of first years in war games. Like, seems a little sketch. But whatever. And then on page 428, they're talking about, or they're getting ready to get on their dragons and fly away. And she realizes that Andarna is there. Because she has to fly with them because that's her dragon and she has to be part of the war games. And she's freaking out, and then she realizes that she has some type of, like, saddle-like contraption on her.
They can, like, hook on.
Yeah, it hooks onto Taryn's saddle to help, like, so when she can't keep up, she can just clip on, and they can, so she can fly with Taryn. And
it makes my heart so happy.
Yeah, so what I highlighted was, she says, it's just in case I can't keep up. The wing leader had it made for me, see? And then she said, just another reason to adore Xaden. And I was like, sure is. He's the good one. And then literally my next sentence is on the next page, and it says, fuck you, Dain, with periods after every word.
On 430, same. So, I love this because Dain's upset. He's upset that Xaden's moved everything around and got Violet into his group or whatever, and Dain's pissed. And here's the thing. They barely lasted 3 fucking days. The last time she got to go off to go do with whatever in Montserrat or wherever. Is it
Montserrat?
Montserrat, yeah. With her sister. Like, it was 3 days. This is gonna be 5. Like, he's gonna have to go wherever they go regardless. So might as well just take her with him. Regardless of what's happening or what's going to happen in, like, the rest of this chapter in the book and all of that, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it does.
From every standpoint in terms of their dragons being bonded. And Dane just doesn't see that. He sees every single thing that has ever been negative towards Xaden ever. He's threatening, saying that he's going to exact his revenge on Violet's mom.
Like, we're still on this. Like, what the fuck?
Right. And it's like, okay, maybe he is, but like, you don't know that. Like, every single thing he has said or done has literally been in the benefit of Violet. So what if Dane is correct? What if Xaden does some stupid ass shit that does get Violet in trouble or gets him into this situation that puts them both at risk? So yeah, what if Dane is correct? Bro.
I mean, what if
you're missing the point here? Yeah, you're missing the point here. The dragons have to be together. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. So she's getting pissed off. She goes, "Are you serious? Like, he's not going to do that." And he fires back with, like, he's made a big deal out of the whole if she dies, I die thing. But do you know it for a fact? Do you know Taryn won't survive her death or your death? Or has it all been a ploy to earn your trust, Violet? And, like, so, of course, he's, like, sticking little needles into her brain to, like, think about this later moment kind of thing. And Xaden's getting pissed, like, all right, do quit while you're ahead, Ados. Like, you want the truth? She's a fuck of a lot safer with me beyond the wards than she is with you within them. We both know it. And, like, everyone is, like, quiet because they're seeing this. Is that outside my apartment? That is outside my apartment. I felt that in my ears, and I, like... Sorry. And, like, they're both ready to fight. And, like, Sigale looks at him. And Sigale's like, I will fucking murder you. I do not care. Like, I'm the dragon. I will do what I want, bitch. And, yeah, and Violet's like, oh, like, I see what's happening. Like, we're not gonna go there. So she stops and she's like, Xaden, stop. If you want me to go with you, I'll go. Like, it's that simple. Like, you just gotta ask. And Dane is pissed. He's like, no fucking way. And all of a sudden it just hits. Dane finally sees it, that he is not being chosen over Xaden. Like, his long-term childhood best friend is officially not choosing him, and he finally sees it. Now, here's the thing. He's going to be like a Tamlin and not see the error of his ways. He's going to be like, I'm right for her kind of thing. And, like, he's going to be that bullshit person, of course. However, like, still, his declaration hurts. And it, of course, it would. I mean, like, your history with that person is going to hurt regardless of that. And he is just like, all right, I'm defeated. Like, I don't know what else to do. So he kind of begs. He begs Violet not to go. He's going to get you killed, Violet. Like, please don't go, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you and him? Like, questioning everything. And he was like, people talk, and I always thought it was, you know, fake, and now it's real kind of thing. Like, he's finally seeing it in real time. And he's kind of settling. He's like, well, I guess if this is it, like, then that's got to be enough for me, right? And I'm like, all right, great. You know what? Now that this is done, cool. Fuck off, Dane. We'll see you in another lifetime. Like, we're done with this. And
I'm not going to say any spoilers at this point, but I think he knows.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he knows
what Xaden's squad is walking into. So I think.
Well, I think. Yeah. Well, and I think too that he, like, I mean, he can literally just, like, touch people and, like, read their minds. So, like, I feel like he's going to be in on a lot of people, which is why I think he knows it. Because, like, I mean, we'll find out in the next couple of chapters, but fuck off, Dane. You piece of shit.
Dane. Fucking
God,
Dane.
Such a dick.
Yeah, I literally said,
Anyways.
"Bye, bitch." That was my last comment on that chapter was "Bye, bitch." And then it's chapter 34.
So listen, chapter 34, there was a lot of information shoved at me all at once. I just had the shocked Pikachu face the entire fucking time I read this. My mouth was it. I tell you what, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sitting here like this. And I was like, excuse the fuck out of me the entire time. Anytime I read something, that was my response. Like, Will would like roll over and like make a little noise, and my response to whatever I was reading would be like, excuse the fuck out of me. He'd be like, what? Nothing. What the fuck? Like, that's all I had to say about this entire fucking chapter. It was a fucking doozy of a twist. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't see this coming.
Yeah. So, page 433, they're on their way, they're flying, and they stop for like a break. And Violet's like, she's like kind of a little freaked out by everything that's going on, and she's got like a bad feeling. And Liam's asking her if she's okay, and she's like, I'm kind of anxious and anxiety. She said,
no, Liam, we're not going to be okay.
She said, if I say I'm not sure, will you think less of me? And then in her head, she's thinking, and she says, one of the things she says is, we were warned the quadrant always loses 10% of the graduating class in the final test. But it's more than that. I just can't put my finger on it. And I'm just like, wild, because I feel like war and strategy, one of the big things is strength in numbers. And yes, like having a small squad of highly trained individuals can take on a bigger squad of less trained, but like we're just murdering off these people, and like these are bonded riders.
Mm-hmm.
What?
So like you're killing the dragons too,
right? Like a lot of dragons die when their rider dies. Like not for sure, but you don't know that.
Like and if anything happens,
not a lot of dragons willing to bond. So why are we just murdering off the children in games? I don't.
It's like Hunger
understand.
Games. It's like really for fun. And here's the thing: you are literally putting. I don't care if people think Violet is the biggest waste of time at Biscayeth in the Rider Quadrant. She is bonded to the most powerful dragon. Yes. And this is probably the last time he will ever be bonded to any fucking rider.
Right, because he wasn't going to bond this time.
Yeah, he was just there.
Because she saved Indarna.
Yeah.
Like.
So, like, I'm just saying, you're literally going to lose that fucking powerhouse, and not only that powerhouse, but Sigale at that, and Xaden, his powerhouse, like just his brains. Not only that, but like his signet,
Yeah,
that's a powerful tool to use.
Is fucking terrifying. Like,
yeah, like you're gonna lose 3 things on top of losing the most powerful dragon of them all. Like, okay,
right, like
by all means, go ahead.
No big deal. And then
I think they see him as a threat though, and they're like, all right, we gotta
do. Well, I think that's why, I mean, we're not there yet, but I think that's why what happens.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah.
Then 100%. You know, they're like, if you keep looking at me like that, we're not gonna, or it's gonna be a longer stop. La, 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 la. And they're being all sexy talk in their head. And then they're interrupted. And I'm like, then they finally realize something.
Yeah.
Like, there's always some terrible secret that threatens to tear the couple apart.
Here's the thing, it's always like within the last 200 pages of
it's like things are going well, things are great, they're in love. Bam!
Happily ever after. No. It's like the last 200 pages. If there's a second book or like a rumored second book, but it's not like ever confirmed, last 200 pages,
they just chop you in the throat.
Yeah, you're just like, here we go. And then you finish the book and you're like internally screaming like, you want the book?
Right? Well, and so basically they find out. First of all, she realizes, doesn't she? Is this where she realizes?
Yeah, this is where she realizes she's literally in a squad, or like a small squad of all people who are marked ones. So
Yeah.
she didn't realize that Xaden got an entire squad of rebel children, which is, I don't understand why she didn't think about it, because that's technically against the rules. And she's very about the
Right.
not about the rules, but like she's very like
Like,
knowledgeable
there's
about the
not
rules,
supposed to be more than 3 of them
and she
because
knows
that's
all
against the
of
rule.
them.
And, like,
She like
I feel like Xaden, all of them should have been like, why are they letting us do this? Like, this is
yeah,
against the rules. But they
like
let them leave and let them leave in that squad. Hi, baby.
like first of all, Xaden was there, Liam was there,
Imogen,
Imogen,
Garrick.
Garrick, 4 fucking people she knew were
Yeah.
marked ones. First of all, you don't even
Yeah.
like. It didn't matter that she didn't know some of these faces. There were 4 people there. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
And then some people she don't know walks out of the they walk out of the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And they are Griffin riders. And she flips the fuck out.
Oh my god, yeah, and she's like ready to fight. She's ready to kill, and Xaden's like, "No, don't, don't
Right.
do it."
Yeah.
And
And
then
everybody's like, I'm sorry. And then Liam holds her down, like, so
yeah,
she
and
can't
then
do anything.
at and I think at this point, this is where she's starting to realize that every single person here but her knew all along, straight from the get go, of what has been happening. So every single person
Yeah.
here has all been in like cahoots with each other. They all knew what was happening. They all know a grand secret, and she's just been a player in every single one of it. And of course, like that, she comes into this world of murder, and she's told by her sister and her brother's book not to really trust anybody, and she can't necessarily do any of these things because she's got to survive. And she meets Rhiannon, and Rhiannon is like her one person that has kept true to her word and supporting her, I mean, within reason. There's been a couple of times she lacked it a little bit, but
Yeah.
like her childhood best friend was never there for her. So like when Xaden was trying to prove that she is worth it here, and then Liam was helping her, and then Imogen was helping her, all these people stepping up and helping her be a better writer, she's like gaining trust. And it's like,
Yep.
shit, I gave my all to you people, and now look at me now.
Yeah.
I am a victim.
Right. And then, like, that's the end. She realizes that Xaden is, like, in league with them, and that's the end of chapter 34. And then I just want to say something, but at the top of chapter 35, the little blurby thing, I feel like it's very important because it's very similar to how we say things here in the United States. Like, so I'm going to read it and then I'll say what I mean. It says it says,
Yeah.
in his last days of interrogation, Fen Rierson lost touch with reality, railing against the kingdom of Navarre. He accused King Tori and all who came before him of a conspiracy so vast, so unspeakable, that it does not bear repeating by this historian. The execution was swift and merciful for a madman who cost untold lives. I feel like we say that a lot when someone is telling the truth or they're talking about something that you don't want the masses to know. We're like, oh, shut the fuck up.
That's
Like,
literally happening right now with Boeing.
yes.
With Boeing. That's happening right now with Boeing. The
It's
guy
happening with
magic
so
is
many
like,
different things.
yeah, like a guy just magically is like dead and no one knows why, but he was a whistleblower against blowing Boeing.
Well, and then what's his fucking name that died in jail?
Epstein?
That was like, yeah. Yeah, is that the one? Yeah.
He was like in
That
cahoots
everyone
with
says the Clintons had him killed.
Yeah, well, and then the not the Clintons, but like a lot of people are saying that he was the president, JFK. They think JFK was going to do too many good things for the country
Yeah.
at that time, and he was getting too big for his britches and changing too many things way ahead of its time. Um and that's why he was assassinated. Conspiracy.
Yeah, and then later in this chapter I talk about it more, but like I feel like all the people that are super against critical race theory are also in this type of vein. They're like, "Oh, well, we don't like that part of our history, so we're just not going to talk about it."
Whitewashing.
Yeah. Oh, that part makes us sad, so we're not going to talk about it.
Like, yeah, it makes us sad, but god damn it, learn from it.
Learn from it, right? I remember so often sitting in history class and being like, I don't care about this. This happened in the past. Why do I need to know this? I'm not going into politics. Why do I need to know this? And people were always like, we need to know this so we don't repeat repeat history. We don't do it again. And then those same people
are doing it.
Here. Yeah, they're out here like, just kidding.
Here's the thing,
that
like,
didn't happen.
and here's the thing. You know the community I come from. Not a lot of people do. I come from a mainly white community. There is like maybe 2 or 3 black families in the entire town, and majority, both of them, basically went to public school. So for my formative years, from kindergarten all the way up to the 6th grade, I went to Catholic school. Catholic school has a smaller population because you pay it's private school, so you pay tuition and it's more expensive. So I hate saying privilege, but basically privileged kids go because if they can afford it, then they go and they get, the private education setting. In 1st grade, I remember, or like kindergarten or 1st grade, one of the two, I remember, because this is when I first learned shame as a child. And and here's the thing, it was one of those curiosity things, like when you are working in a room full of children, kindergartners, it doesn't matter, they ask questions. They ask a ton of questions. And questions that are like, that's inappropriate, but coming from I understand your brain development, all of that, like, it's not inappropriate, it's not racist, it's not bad, like, you're just learning. As a kindergartner and as a kindergarten teacher, do not shame your fucking kindergarten student from fucking learning, because I stopped asking questions after that, and I didn't know a lot of things after that because I stopped asking. There was one black kid in my class. His name was Jeffrey. He was only there for a year. I barely remember him. I remember this one moment, though. We were talking about something like a part of history that had like a lot to do with like a lot of white people. I don't know. I had asked why there weren't black people involved. I was like, why aren't there people like Jeffrey involved? And I got not necessarily, and I wasn't necessarily shamed for my question. I was shamed because I said people like Jeffrey, and I was like, I don't look like Jeffrey. I am white. Like, I didn't yell. I was like, sorry, like, I didn't know. I was just curious. Like, I don't remember what we were learning.
A 5-year-old,
right? I just remember sitting there on the carpet. Like, there was a kid next to me, and then the kid next to that person was Jeffrey, this little tiny cute little black kid, and I'm sitting there like, why aren't there kids like Jeffrey? And I pointed at him, and she just looks at me. She goes, Emily, we do not ask those questions. And I was like,
why what? Not?
Excuse me. And my teacher's white. This is the only black kid, I swear to God, in the entire fucking school. I was just asking why there was no white kids. I don't even remember the story. I don't remember what was happening. I don't even remember why. I just wondered why there was no black people in what we were talking about. And I got yelled at, and I was like, the fuck? Whitewashing on a smaller scale. But yeah, so it really pissed me off. It really like frustrates me. So when I read this, like that's all I could think of was like, this is how you erase history. You literally talk about things. You literally say, oh, that was so phenomenal. We can't talk about it. And then you just stop talking about it. And then you just shame people for talking about it. And I'm sitting there like,
yeah.
That's why I like to go to the plantations, and if they have like slave stories or whatever, I like to go to those to like to learn all about it. And a lot of people are like, you always see a lot of white, like, because it's always like a black storyteller, and they're always like, you always see a lot of white folks here, and I'm like, you fucking better see a lot of white folks here.
Yeah,
you don't see a lot of white folks here, you got a fucking problem. They're the bitches that need to be here. They're the ones that need to learn. If they're from this area and those their ancestors, they gotta learn today.
Anyway,
sorry,
we went on a huge tangent there. No, I started it, and it's all valid. And yes, but
same concepts, just added to the story.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Like they're doing this in the story. For example, there are. Excuse me, sir. Don't walk through my grass. It's raining. Anyway,
marks.
The UPS man just left a package at our door and then just walked through the fucking grass, like right
out by my window. I wish the USPS would leave a package at my door. That'd be really nice.
All right. Yeah, anyway, we'll talk about that when we get off here. But so on the second page of the chapter, page 440, they're talking about.
Oh, I literally I'm sorry, I went on a tangent and I kind of mixed this chapter with the last chapter. I apologize.
Fine. Chapter 35 now. They're talking about the Venin that are, I think that's how you say it, are attacking villages and yada, yada, yada. And Violet is shook. She's like, those are fairy tale creatures. Those are not real. And I'm like, bitch, there's a reason that book that you loved so much from your dad was banned. There's a reason you can't find it in the library and that it doesn't actually exist in the library because
that person is the reason why we have a speedometer now on our road.
That's hilarious.
I swear to God, every fucking day at the same time. Anyways.
Yeah.
I just love that she's just like, those are fairy tales, and everyone's like, well, the fairy tales got to come from somewhere, don't they? They're historical representations of history past. Just in this lifetime, it's a little, flair.
Yeah, this chapter is just wild.
Yeah, this is also kind of the part of the shocked Pikachu face, including excuse the fuck out of me, Zayden, because he's unloading on her with the Griffin Riders in the back. All of the fucking people around her, Liam's still kind of holding on to her, staying nearby, making sure she doesn't do anything stupid. Taryn's I knew too, and so now she's my own fucking dragon knew, and Darna knew as well, so now she feels betrayed by her own dragon. She wants to get the fuck out of there, but they're kind of kind of need to stay. So she's feeling pretty shitty right now, and she's it's kind of like that when it's like the cartoon where you place somebody in a hole, and it's the cartoon's beating them into the hole like a nail.
Yeah,
that it's every single truth that comes out, she just gets deeper and deeper into this fucking depression based hole. And it's so sad because it's oh my God, there's a lot of treachery happening right now. A lot of things, she grew up in this it's kind of you grow up in this world and this is all you know, and then now everything is changed right in front of you at the exact same moment, and you don't know how to feel. And like on do you have anything prior to page 448?
Yes, only on on page 442, she's getting pissed even at Tiernan and Darna.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's like, everyone knew, everyone betrayed me. I was like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, Violet, do you really think that Taryn would, one, let them hurt you? Two, do you think that he would let them do something that is bad for the, I don't know, world? Because then that affects him too. Like, she's just being an idiot for a moment there. And then on page 444, I was like, there you go. Use your brain. Because she finally realizes that, like,
all right, if I were to believe this, like, okay,
yeah.
now what? Yeah. Well, and then she starts bringing Dane into it, and that's like really, I think that's kind of not necessarily her comfort, but I feel like that's her trauma speaking, because like that's her.
I have another thing to say on page 446.
Oh, yeah, good, because that's the page I'm on.
Okay.
It's like she brings Dane into it, and it's like she's got that vulnerability to where she's like, you know what, I should have listened to Dane, like I should have been with my safe spot. I should have, like that trauma built. I'm going to pull myself out of this. Like, I'm going to become a recluse, basically, is what she's trying to do. She's trying to push people away. And then she just looks at him and goes, loved you. I don't love you no more. And it's like, oh,
Violet.
Oh. Oh, Xaden. Poor baby. Now what?
Yeah. So
and he just gets so sad.
He does. Towards the top of that page, she is talking to him, and he's like, I could lie to you, but I'm not. No matter what you think right now, I've never lied to you. And she's like, and how do I know this is the truth? And he says, because it hurts to think we're the kind of kingdom that would do this. It hurts to rearrange everything you think you know. Lies are comforting and the truth is painful. And I feel like that goes right back to what we were talking about when we went on our tangent. Like,
oh my God, yes.
Rewrite history to make it comfortable.
No, that shit hurts. Oh my God, it hurts.
If it doesn't hurt, then you're not actually learning true history. Like,
oh my God, right? Like I'm playing a game that I should have played a long time ago when I first fucking bought it, Ghost of Tsushima. And it talks about the Mongols invading the island of Tsushima, like back in like the 1200 era of Japan, like with samurais, all of that kind of stuff. So it's like an island of Japan, and the Mongols invade it. And it's like the Mongols did such horrible fucking things to people, to the empire, to like animals, to everything. And I'm sitting here like pissed off at the Mongols, and I'm just like, I can't be mad at them, because that's what they believed at that time. Because like the more you like play the game, like the more you like hear them talk, you're just like, I'm doing it for the greater peace. And the greater peace, I haven't gotten that far. Like, okay, I've gotten pretty far, but like people are now starting to talk about like something called the greater peace, and I'm wondering if it's like some religious based thing. And I'm just like, okay, as long as people don't do that shit right now, we're fine.
Right.
And as long as they're learning to not do that shit, then we're okay too.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yes, it is.
And I really, really, really want to side with Violet and be pissed off with her. I'm really pissed off at everything. Like, I would be extremely mad. But also,
I also get why they did it. It wasn't her they didn't trust. It was Dane. And with good reason.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm on their side of the ethical spectrum when it comes to the government. Like, I believe there is some stupid shit happening that the government's not telling us. I'm on Xaden's side of like that world. And Violet's niece is, and Dane's on the he's the fucking police officer on the other side.
Follow the rules, follow the rules.
Yeah. So, and Violet's was on that side because like her family, her mother, her sister, her brother, all of that kind of stuff. And so now she's trying to figure out the defining line. And it's like,
what's real.
I want to be so fucking pissed off at Xaden right now for like all of the trauma that like he had just caused and everybody and my dragons. However, I would also agree with him. I'd be like, yeah, you're right though. And it's just phenomenal, the realization that she gets after, like, when she thinks about her storybook, the book that she loves so much, that her father gifted her, in the letter he gifted her. It only takes one desperate generation to change history, even erase it.
I highlighted that.
It's like, oh, there it is. That right there is why Xaden's doing what he's fucking doing. I mean, we don't know that yet, but that is why.
Yes.
Damn it.
Yes.
And it's so sad because he's just like, Dad spelled it out for me. Like, he knew it from right there. And it's like, he did. But, I mean, you don't realize it until someone else tells you about it. Because you're not thinking about that.
And then, Xaden and Violet are kind of like arguing back. Oh no, never mind. They get to the outpost finally. Like, they start flying again. They've been flying this whole time. She's been talking to Tanner and Darna. And they get to the outpost and it's empty. There's no one there. And Xaden's like, the fuck? He's like, he said, there's no one here. Divide and search. You don't leave my side. I don't think this is a war game. And he's like, she says, this is one of the most strategic garrisons we man. There's no way they'd abandon it for the war games. And Xaden said, that's exactly what I'm afraid of. And then he looks at Violet and he says, what did Dane say to you before we left? And she said, he said something like, I'll miss you, Violet. And then Xaden...
I know, that really confused me. I was like, the fuck, I'll miss you. Like, I'll be right back.
And then he said, I was going to get you killed. And Xaden's like, did you tell him about our trips here? And she's like, no, like... And he's like, did he touch you after I told you? And she's like, what? And then he's like, did he touch you like this? He has to touch someone's face? And she says, yeah, but that's how he always touches me. I would know if he read my memories. And he says, no, you wouldn't. Mm-mm. And
he violated her.
Yes. Then they find an envelope and it says, War Games for Xaden Rierson, Wing Leader of 4th Ring. And it's from Colonel Atos, which is Dane's dad. I keep saying Zane because Xaden and Dane. And then it says, inside the envelope, it says our mission is to survive if we can. So they've all been sent there to die.
And you know what? That fucking prick. I hope he dies in the fucking War Games. I hope he fucking loses his goddamn head and he gets put on a spike. Fuck you, Dane. You piece of shit. You literally fucking warn her. You couldn't say anything.
Dane, traitorous piece of trash. No, because he's not going to break the rules. He's not going to break the rules or betray his nation.
If you survive the war, the War Games, I hope you don't make a Wing Leader. You bitch. And
this is so fucked up. Like, first of all, it's fucked up because you're sending this whole wing of extremely talented people to die, knowing whether she went with him or not, that she would most likely die if he died. Because if Sigale dies, then Taryn is going to die. And if Taryn dies, she dies. So she's probably going to die too. So they clearly don't give a fuck about her either.
Oh, fuck
but
no.
But also, the whole, like, blaming the children for what their parents did is so fucked. I don't understand that. Now, if the children were out here like, yeah, fuck the, out here like openly rebelling and like talking shit about the Empire or whatever it's called in this thing, then okay, maybe I could see it. But they're not. And in fact, the government is actually the ones in the wrong. Fenrirson was doing the right thing, which we just found out, but like, ugh.
We don't know that yet.
I mean, we basically do.
We don't, though.
Well,
we just know that there's a little hidden.
Maybe I just assumed that then, I guess, but
I also, knew there was like some shit happening, but I didn't actually like it didn't actually occur to me what's truly happening until like that last fucking sentence at the very end, and I was like, I fucking knew it. I knew it.
It's just fucked. Like, they're sending kids. I mean, I guess they're not like children. They're like 20, I think, but
still.
But they're innocents. Like, they're still in college. They're basically still children. And you're sending them to die for what? For what purpose? For no reason.
You're pissed off that their parents were mad at you.
Right. You're pissed off that their parents told you were wrong. And they were right. Ugh. So the last chapter for this episode is chapter 36. And it's a hot mess. So Taryn is like, something is off, like something's wrong. And he's like, it's coming from the valley below. And Bodhi says, I can't see shit down there. And Liam goes, well, I can, and if those are what I think they are, we're fucked. And then the letter says, they read more of the letter, and it says, this is a test of your command. You have the choice of abandoning the village of our enemy or abandoning command of your wing. So either they lose the war games or they let a bunch of innocent people die. Which is fucked. And they're like, of our enemy. But like, what did those people ever do to you? Not shit.
I'll miss you, Violet. Sure you will, bitch.
What I wrote was so fucked up. Leave innocents to die or win a game. Obvious choice. Like, I don't care if they are innocents from another country. They're innocents. Like,
they deserve life just as much as you.
Yeah, like, I don't... This whole fucking thing just really pisses me off. So... Then the Griffin riders show up and they're going to help them. And they're like, well, we hope there aren't any wyverns around. But then they're like, oh, wyverns aren't real. Okay, bitch, if Venom are real, why can't wyverns be real, first of all? But anyway.
Honestly, though, I was sitting there like, are you fucking serious? They're going to be real.
Right, like, hello. So they're all like, Xaden's like, I'm not going to stand by while innocent people are dying, but I'm not going to order any of you to join me. You can leave. And then they're all like, fuck off, we're coming with you. And he tells, in his head, he says, I don't want you in harm's way, to Violet. And she's like, if the others get to make a choice, so do I. And I'm like, yes. Like, you don't even actually have to say that. He doesn't want you to stay, but he would never make you leave.
Yeah.
Because that's not who he is. That's Dane energy, and this is Xaden. So,
yeah.
There we
go. Like, he's going to be really upset, but he also wants you to be a strong, independent young woman. He's a girl's girl.
Yeah. And then it keeps going, right? And they're all like, we're coming with you. And they say all these noble things. And then Liam says, we watched as our parents were executed because they had the courage to do the right thing. I'd like to think my death would be just as honorable. And she's like, Violet's over here starting to feel that, like, standby guilt. She's like, their parents died to expose the truth, while mine sacrificed my brother to keep this heinous secret. And
here's the thing. Oh, okay. I wonder if the reason why her mom is a stone cold fucking bitch, first of all. Second of all, I think her dad, like, I was like, there's two possibilities. Brennan is still alive, and he, like, basically went AWOL to go do what he does best, heal people, probably on the outlying fenced in area. Parents know about it, blah, 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 blah. Or I was like, he died because he didn't tell his, like, they kept it a secret, you know, like nobody told anything. So he basically, like, lost a part of himself in, like, the years prior to his death, because he knew all along, because Violet's just like, well, my parents did this to do this for Brennan. And it's like, I wonder if that's why your dad died. Like, he knew, and your mom's kind of a fucking asshole. So, like, she was like, you better not fucking say anything or I'll fucking kill you. Probably. Yeah. And
then she did.
Yeah.
We don't know that. I don't know that, but
no. And so, like, I feel like that's why her father, like, started having those heart problems. I mean, honestly, though, she could honestly have had those heart problems. We haven't read Iron Flame. We have no idea what happens. We just read the rest of Fourth Wing. But, like, the fact that I kind of wonder if, like, just the stress and the guilt of knowing that he could have done something to change his son's life, or, like, change the outcome of his son's life, could have really, like, changed everything. And I wonder if, like, he could have lived if that were the case. Maybe he's alive. Ooh, I never thought about that.
I just thought about that a few seconds ago. I was like,
yeah, like, what if him and Brennan are together? What if they're together?
Like, we don't know. They could be anywhere. They could be alive. Also,
listen.
Then on page 457, they're like, there goes a dragon. And they're like, do we have a
That's not a dragon.
It's not a dragon.
It's got paws for wings.
Right, like, not a dragon. Oh my god.
That's a scary ass wyvern, bitch. Oh my god, speaking of wyvern, real quick, have you seen that TikTok where that woman goes, like, insane for the Game of Thrones? They were like, she's not the mother of dragons, she's the mother of wyvern. Have you seen that TikTok?
No, I have not.
Oh my god, she goes insane. She goes, this is the biggest thing that pisses me off the entire time about all of this. Every single dragon you have seen in the House of Dragon or in Game of Thrones, it's not a dragon, it's a wyvern. Like, I don't know, she goes off on a tangent on all of this, and she's like, wyvern are dragon-like creatures that do not have front legs. They walk on their paws, like, that are attached to their wings, like, and just goes insane. And I'm like, she's passionate about that. I was like, you know,
I mean, with all of the money and all of the creative things and stuff that went into Game of Thrones in those shows, they should have got that detail right.
I mean, honestly, Mother of Dragons, one person, that one, like, Piper CJ based person is gonna. That's incorrect.
That's not a dragon.
Hi, I'm Piper CJ. I have a master's in folklore. Let's talk about dragon.
Yeah, just, like, come on, guys.
As a wyvern.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I mean, we say that now, but in that moment, we'd be like, it's a fucking dragon.
Yeah, for sure.
We're about to die. It's a dragon.
I'm gonna pet it.
Oh, it's so cute. It fucking like blasts you to pieces. Okay, maybe next time.
At least she died happy.
She died doing what she loved, trying to pet something she shouldn't.
Yes. And then so on page 459, they're like fighting, right? And they're fighting against the venom and the wyvern and yada yada yada. And Taryn like flies by the venom and incinerates the clock tower that it's standing on top of. And Vi's like, got him! And she's turns around to look back and he's just standing there. Because that doesn't hurt them. Like, it doesn't work. So I'm just like, did you think it was that easy? Because like if it was that easy, would we be having this problem?
The greatest part about that is she's literally read that book front and back like 500 times.
Right.
and right before they went into like everything, they even talked about it. They were like, okay.
Yeah, well,
remember guys, like
you can't like, the venom are real, but there's no way there's actually wyvern.
What is that, a dragon?
What?
Like, bro, you're showing some stupidity right now, and you were born and raised for the archives, and right now you are not showing anything. Like right now, to be honest, ma'am, you are showing some Jack Barlow energy, like some idiots.
Dumbass. Like, what? Oh my god. And so then like the next few pages, like a bunch of shit happens, right?
Oh my god, there was so much. I had to reread a lot of things because fighting scenes in me, like, my brain just doesn't comprehend.
Well,
like,
right,
if I ever have to read a book, oh my god, if I ever have to write a book and there's gonna be a fight scene in it, like, I have to, like, visualize it, and then I have to, like, tell somebody about it, and they have to write it. I can't do it.
Right, like,
my brain doesn't work like that.
My brain, like, just was gone. I got sucked into the book, and then I looked down, and I was on page 463, and I was like, I've read, like, 5 pages. I feel like I should write something. But, like, I feel like there was so much happening, but there was nothing that, like, I specifically jumped out that I wanted to write out.
No, yeah, they were literally just fighting wyvern. They were just going back and forth. Like, one person was in trouble, then another person was in trouble, and then this happened, and then that happened, and it was just, I mean, it was basically like watching the Avengers fight, to be honest.
Yeah, like, it's just like, bam, bam, look over there, look over there, look over there. It's, like, wild.
Like, oh, on the left, Liam needs help. On it. Over here.
Well,
Taryn.
And then on page 467, I did write something. They're still in, like, all the fight scenes, but Violet starts to get distracted by Xaden. Like, she's worried about Xaden. And she screams at him, and she's focusing on him, that she completely forgets about the wyvern that was chasing her, and, like, she almost gets attacked. And, like, bitch, this man commands the shadows. He can walk across the parapet back and forth without worrying because his shadows can catch him. Stop fucking worrying about him and worry about your damn self.
And Taryn is even like, it's fine. Like, Sigil is perfectly capable. He is perfectly capable. You need to focus.
Yeah, he can handle himself.
And I really like, too, because there's a lot of stories that will legitimately gloss over how capable these people are. And they rush in to help them despite how capable they are. But in this one, like, they make a point. They, like, stop and, like, hey, they are capable. You need to focus over here. And it's like,
yes,
you're right. Like, oh shit, I almost died. Like, let's go.
That's refreshing.
Did you not hear that at all?
No, I did, but it got louder. But then
it's been happening a while.
The worst thing, well, not the worst thing, I guess, but something very, very, very bad happens.
The worst so thus far. How about that?
Yeah. Day.
Yeah.
I think it's Day.
I don't know. When I think
dies.
That, it's like D. Is it D? Lee? Day?
Well, see, I was thinking like 8. Wait. It's either D or Day. I don't know. But I feel like a lot of these names are kind of like, what is it Gaelic?
Gaelic. Let's look up the Gaelic pronunciation of D.
But
go ahead with your thought.
He gets into like they describe it as a deathlock with one of the wyvern, and the dragon shreds the wyvern's wings, but the wyvern doesn't care because it's more of a creation of magic than it is like a real being, and it digs its claws deep into Day's belly. And it's just like totally willing to die to kill the dragon. And it does. Day dies. And if the dragon dies, then their rider is not too far behind. So,
in Scottish Gaelic, day means ice.
Oh, well, that makes sense because Liam's power is ice. His signet is ice, right?
I thought he could see far away.
Oh, you're right. He can see far away, but he throws ice.
Oh.
Like he can, yeah. Maybe that's not his signet, but he can, that's one of his.
Yeah, it says the Scottish Gaelic is like, it's like J. So if you hear it from fourth wing, it makes the A sound.
Okay.
Thank you, Google.
So he dies. Liam dies. And I said on page 472, if you're not crying right now, you're a fucking monster. Because this, like the first time I read this and the second time I read it, both times, and I don't cry as much for books, I cried both times. Both fucking times.
My God.
It's been my honor, and like, just like.
Listen, I read that and I immediately busted out bawling. And then I was like scrolling through Facebook, and then it was a picture of him, and it was just like, it has been my honor. And I was like, like ugly crying. I was like, I don't want to talk about it. And then I sent it to Brandy. I was like, I was like, oh my God, my soul is wrecked. Yes. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. And then I was just like, kill them all. Kill them
all. Yeah, I was like, all right, we're done. We are absolutely done. Get them.
Because she says, I buckle the straps across my thighs as Taran springs upward, taking off with heavy beats of his massive wings. The bloodied wyvern has doubled back, and Taran flies straight at it. I don't even care if it's the same one that just killed our friends. They're all going to die. And then right at the end of the chapter, she feels Taran's roar of pain, and then it's the end of the chapter, and that's the last chapter we're doing in this episode. So we don't know what's going to happen.
Liam dies, and then all of a sudden, Taran is in pain. Like, what?
So
there was so many emotions and just like those four chapters.
Yes.
It was like, yes, like, fuck you, Dane, and the excuse me, Xaden. How fucking dare you? And then all of a sudden it was like, and then it was crying. Like, it was like the 4 seasons of emotions.
Yes. All the feels.
Anyways, until next time.
Bye.